What do you get when you have 2 microphones, a bottle of bourbon, and plenty of time to kill? It's the Bourbon Talking Podcast with Billy and Jimmy. Glad you found us. Sit back, relax. Let's see what we get into.
Anyways,
Bang.
are we back? We're back.
We're back. That email was sent with some authority. Pow!
That was actually a text trying to get some information. What the hell were we talking about before that damn phone call?
Let me think. I can go back. Oh, yeah. I still can't remember.
That had to hurt.
I don't like smacking your dog. I'll smack mine around, but like somebody smacking your kid, being like, hey, what'd you just do? Or your kid kicked me in the knee. Well, I'll whip his ass. Don't you laying hands on my kid.
Oh, my dog needs it once in a while. I just got to smack him in the fucking head.
I'll just be in the extended reach of your arm. You just tell me when to activate. Old Captain Bruce keeps us straight.
Oh, there he goes. He's going down. So
down goes Frazier.
So anyway, you following this Murdoch trial?
That was the prosecution that was on today for, I don't know, I fell asleep quick. That guy has no lack for words, that's for sure. Man, he just talked and talked and talked.
Oh, the closing arguments for the state. I mean, I don't know, he must have gone 6 hours. I mean, he was making, he was trying to get a point across. I think he kind of left a few open ends during the examination phase, and I think he was trying to bring him to a little bit of a closure. But this guy definitely murdered his family and trying to blame everybody else. So,
that guy's a dirtbag.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the article in the headlines here: Bubba, Buster, Paw Paw. Who's who in Murdoch trial? Like, oh my God. You can't get any more country than this. So,
yeah, it was hard for me to keep up with the names.
Yeah.
I don't think they spent very much time naming their kids. They're pretty quick to call them whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, the guy needs to hang, and hopefully the jury's not hung, and they can come to a unanimous guilty within like 10 minutes, and let's just get this guy on the death row quick. But anyways, I digress. Let's just move on.
Yeah, we're going to talk about lighthearted, fun, happy shit today.
This guy's a piece of shit. You know, I hope he's Bubba's bitch for like 10 years before they fry him.
He's going to be holding on to somebody's pocket in prison.
Yeah.
What show had that? I don't know much about prison. I've never been there. What was that? Where they pull their pockets inside outward?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hang on. I got something real funny to show you. Hang on real quick.
No, I don't want to see it. Leave your, just stay on that side over there. I don't want anyone. No.
Oh man, hang on.
I kind of enjoying not having to see you during this podcast.
So me and our friend John, we were talking about the same conversation. And it was about you somehow.
Oh, yay.
And this picture was made.
Oh, God.
In reference to the same thing.
Yeah, you two thugs look like you should be in prison.
I'll throw that up for our guests to see so y'all can laugh along with us. And it was an inside joke, but anyway. Yeah. Now you know what I'm talking about, holding pockets.
Yeah.
It's a prison thing.
You guys are killing
You wouldn't understand.
No, I wouldn't.
Hey, that's a bumper sticker right there, man. It's a prison thing. You wouldn't understand.
No, I won't.
What the? Damn, when a phone goes off around here.
Yeah, it wants to interrupt everything.
It vibrates the world.
I think that was your probation officer.
Yeah, luckily I don't have one of those either. I'm doing pretty good, man. I've made it this far without getting in trouble. I don't know, man. My dad put the fear of God in me, you know. I think that's something that parents just don't do today like they used to do back in my day.
Oh, no, you spank them or look like you're going to spank them, you lose your kid. They put them in, they call it Child Protective Services. This is ludicrous.
Yeah, that's definitely what's wrong.
And that's what's wrong with kids today. They just don't have enough whippings.
My dad never spanked me with a belt or anything. He did it old school. He bent me over his knee. And my dad, I kind of got big hands. My dad had sledgehammer hands. He covered both cheeks. And if you put your arm back there, he'd either break your arm with a whack, or he's like, hey, every one I miss, you get an extra one. So you just held on. And
I remember my dad, he took his belt off. My mom would say, you wait till your dad gets home.
So you got whacked with a belt?
Oh, I had to think about it for like 4 hours when he got home, and then he took it off and whipped my ass with it.
Yeah, dad just, he went old school with the hand. It didn't, you have pants on, it didn't matter.
My dad had to use his hands for work. He wasn't going to damage them.
My dad used his hands for work too. That's why they hurt so damn bad. He was pulling wrenches all his life. And
between my dad's belt and my mom's bedroom shoe,
I don't know what was worse. I had this dear friend I grew up with named Scott. Scott, shout out to you, buddy. Good to see you. And his mama would make him go out in the woods and pick a switch. She just looked at him, go get one. Now,
my mom did that once.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. My mom did do that once. Yeah.
So
go get a, oh yeah.
Scott,
you don't, I'm going to get the bigger one.
Scott, when 40 years goes by, you tend to make up your own memories. So feel free to correct me on this, but I remember being there when his mom said, Scott, go get one. And so we went out into the woods, and Scott's picking a switch. And I'm like, no, man, get this one. And I had some little old thin raggedy switch that wouldn't hurt a fly. He says that's not going to work. And he's getting a stick. And man, wouldn't you want this one? He says, look, I have the opportunity to get the switch. If she don't like the one I bring back, then she goes picks the switch. I've done this before, trust me. So he picks the switch and takes it back to his mama, and she whips his ass with it. That's cruel.
Yeah, no, I did.
I prefer the hand. Just go ahead and get it over with. Don't make me go out on a quest to find a ass whipping device.
Yeah, no, I had one switch, but most of it was belt or my mom's bedroom slipper.
My dad bought me a BB gun one time. It was a nice one too, man. It was one of them, not that Red Ryder BB.
I was going to say, were you in A Wonderful Life?
No, man. It's kind of similar. This is that nice.
I've seen this movie.
Yeah, this is a little different. So my dad hands me the BB gun, and I'm like, oh man, this thing's sweet. And I went to take it out of his hands, and it didn't move. And he's just looking at me. He says, let me explain something to you. If you shoot it, you eat it. And I looked at it. Yeah. I went
the gun or what you shot?
Yeah, what I shot. And I went to take the BB gun out of his hand again, and it didn't move again. He says, look at me. If you shoot it, you eat it. Okay, yeah. So I pump it up about 30 times. I walk out the back door, and the first thing I see is a lizard crawling up the side of the house. I stuck that BB gun right to that lizard's head and pulled the trigger. Dad snatches the door open. It didn't take you 10 seconds. Now find that lizard. I'm like, huh? So I'm out in the yard looking for a lizard with a head missing. I find the lizard. We take it in the kitchen. He heats up a frying pan, and there I go. And that was some nasty shit, but lesson learned.
You ate it.
Hell yeah, I ate it. It was either that or get my ass whipped and lose my BB gun.
So you ate a lizard.
I cooked that thing up crispy. Crispy. I didn't want no juices. I remember asking him, how long do I have to cook this lizard? He said, that's your choice.
Not enough bourbon.
But if I was you, I'd make it well done. He says, I've never eaten one, but I imagine it tastes like shit.
I've eaten some.
My dad was awesome. So you remember the TV show Chips? And
yeah, that was John and Punch.
Yeah, John and Punch. And what came on right before Chips? Rescue 911 emergency. Remember that?
That was Rescue 51.
Oh yeah. No, when you open up the tackle box, it had like a telephone, like a real telephone receiver. Who the hell they calling back in 1970 with a telephone? Like they had a dispatch to the hospital. We didn't even have that technology back then. But anyway, and there was an EKG, and you had a defib so you could paddle somebody, you know.
So let me guess. And then right after Chips was Magnum MD, right? He was a doctor?
No, Magnum PI. Anyway, I digress. That was a toy you could buy a kid, was that little tackle box. I had a cedar tree in the backyard, and I had this brilliant idea. I was 7 years old.
Let me guess, you shot that too and had to eat it.
Nope. I remember it like it was yesterday. My dad told me don't climb the tree. So I decided to climb this tree.
And they had to call a real ambulance.
And my idea was I was going to hook a rope to that my box, and I was going to pull it up the tree to rescue the pretty girl that was imaginary pretty girl that I didn't have.
Jane was up there?
I don't know what her name was.
Tarzan's wife?
So as I'm up in this tree, far enough, high enough, something happened with the rope, and the rope did not hold me. So I fell. And as I was falling, I could remember my grandmother telling me, if you break your tailbone, you'll be paralyzed. So I put my arm behind me, and I landed on my arm and snapped my arm in half, and it was like broke. Like I had two elbows. It was broke bad. I was 7 years old. I felt no pain. All I felt was fear. Oh shit. I gotta tell my dad I broke my arm. So I'm holding my arm. I run inside the house and I tell my dad, Dad, something happened. Dad already knew what happened.
Yeah.
He looks at me. He says, you broke your damn arm. I'm like, I was only 7. That was obvious. So we had
I did not shoot a lizard, Daddy.
We had one of them big Pontiac Grand Ams, big land barge, 2-door. Before he even started the car to take me to the hospital, Dad fires up the chainsaw, goes back.
Cut your arm off?
Cut that tree down to the ground. Boom, after he dropped the tree. Worried. Then he puts me in the car. Takes me to Dr. Rowe.
I thought he was going to do his own medical procedure on you. I was worried.
Dude. I was throwing hickory nuts at the house one day. We had a 2-story house, but the porch.
Wait, you sure you weren't in prison? I mean, it just sounds like you just.
No, man, my dad was so loving.
He beat you with his hand.
Was a terror. You don't understand. I mean, out of all the kids, I was actually not that bad, but the kind of man that my dad was, he didn't deserve a little shithead like I was a handful. You know, I was an only kid, and you know, I didn't have nobody but me and.
Wait a minute, you just said you had a bunch of kids.
Well, I did, but I'm talking about when I was like 7 and 8, man. I was that kid.
Oh, he had all the kids afterwards.
Yeah. But, you know, so I'm throwing hickory nuts at the house one day, and on the 2nd story, our porch had like rotted off the house, so we had removed it. But on the second story of the house was a door. You open a door and there's nothing. So I'm throwing hickory nuts. Well, that door is at the top of the inside stairwell going up to the second floor. And Dad's inside the house watching wrestling or chips or whatever. Wrestling. He keeps hearing something hit the house and he can't figure out what the hell it is. Because I'm on the side behind a tree throwing hickory nuts at the house.
It's that shithead of a son he had, obviously. Yeah. I mean, come on, shooting squirrels, falling out of trees, throwing hickory nuts. I mean,
I'm just trying to see from his perspective.
I'd have put your ass up for adoption like after like week 2.
My dad, he's just got finished working 65, 75 hours a week, and he's trying to relax for a minute. And he's like, what the hell is that noise? You know? So finally he goes upstairs because I'm hitting the top of the house, you know. As soon as he goes up to the top of the steps and looks out the little window of that door is when I just throw a strike right to that window. Bang! And that hickory nut hits like right where his face is looking out that door. He snatches that door open. Get your ass in the house. So I go running in the house. We had this old wooden rocking chair. I sat down in the rocking chair and Dad is so mad. But my dad was so good about, and he told me this after I had kids, hey, you kind of got a temper. You like to kind of fly off the handle. Do yourself a favor. Do your kids a favor before you reprimand your children. Count to 10. Calm down, and then do what you got to do. My dad grabbed that chair by the arms, and I was sitting in it. And he just starts shaking. He just starts trembling.
You just brought out the worst in him, didn't you?
And these big veins were popping out on his neck. And this big vein down his forehead. And he's just sitting there and he's not saying nothing. And I'm like, Dad?
You gave him a stroke.
Dad? And all of a sudden.
I tell you, adoption, 2 weeks.
All of a sudden.
That's where you should have gone.
Bang, the chair explodes. He broke the chair I was sitting in. And I just fell straight to the floor. He just stood over me. He reached out a hand, picked me up, and he walked off. That was all he had to do. I knew not to throw hickory nuts at the house no more.
Well, you dumbass, you shouldn't have. Man.
All in all, I was a good kid, though.
Doesn't sound like it. You even said you weren't.
I mean, I'm just giving you, like, the highlights.
No, those were the worst lights.
So,
just saying.
My dad let me build a skateboard ramp in my backyard.
Everybody's parents let them build a skateboard ramp.
Dude, I had the skateboard. I had a 14-foot wide
Every skateboarder had the ramp.
I had the ramp. You have no idea. Scott Douglas, Robert Camp, y'all know I had the ramp. But anyway, so I decided I'm not even going to tell this story. I almost killed my dad. I don't even want to tell that story. What is going on? What are the girls? Why is there 37 text messages in 4 seconds? And why are you typing so much over there? What are you doing?
They're wanting to know about the issue I had just a little while ago with the meeting that I was supposed to have Friday that got canceled.
I see. Lord, were you being an ass again?
Yeah, and I sent an email saying, "Hey, I'm done. Cancel everything." And then he called and said, "No. Hey, that's not. I got to talk to my staff, and we're still having a meeting at 9:30." Anyways, so I just trying to fill them in, and they're thinking I'm an ass, but I'm an ass. But you know what? Hey, he's the one who set the meeting, not me. And then his handlers canceled the meeting. I'm like, well, then I'm not going then, cancel everything. And he called and personally said, oh, no, we're still meeting at 9:30. So, again, don't become a celebrity with handlers, people. When your people get involved, then it's really not a friendship anymore. I don't have people. I do everything myself.
We should get some people.
You know what? No, I don't want people because this is an example why, because his people got involved and screwed up the meeting for Friday. And, you know, when I texted him back personally and said, just forget everything, we're done. He called and said, no, we're still on for 9:30. I need to talk to my staff.
He did.
So again, I don't need people because people get in the way. You know, I don't care how rich you are, how big of a celebrity you are. You don't need people.
Yeah, but he did step out of a extremely important meeting, lean against the wall, and call you back as quickly as possible and say, "Hey, let's fix this. I'll see you at 9:30."
Exactly. You know,
that was good.
He said, I got to talk to my people. You know, so again, you know, when you become a celebrity, you know, you got to decide you're gonna have friends or not, because if your people are scheduling meetings with your friends, you don't have friends.
Maybe you'll get like a special access card or a super password or something like that.
I don't want it. Just, hey, I have his personal cell phone. You know, he and I have been texting. We talk on the phone, you know. But when your people called me on Monday and said he can meet with you on Friday, and then his people call back and say, no, we can't meet due to this, that, or the other. And then, you know, so I'm texting him saying, what the hell, man, this is bullshit. And long story short, he calls, no, we're still meeting 9:30 and I need to talk to my people. Again, if you got people, you don't have friends. You know, you need to set your own schedule with your friends, not your people.
You're probably being tracked by the NSA now.
I don't give a fuck. Hey, NSA.
You're on shit. I'm on a list just due to association with you, probably.
Hey, I don't give a shit. You know, I didn't tell you to hang out with me. I mean, I thought you were cool and stuff and we were friends, but hey, if you're that worried, then hey, maybe we need to rethink this thing. I'll have my people call you.
I just want to be able to say, man, I'll have my people call your people. We'll get it figured out. Man, you hear that helicopter?
No. All I hear is my damn phone texting going off. I mean, it's somebody's people texting me, and I'm like, really? If I gotta go through people, I don't want to talk to you. No, seriously. I mean, if I gotta go through people, forget it. You're way out of my league. You can't pick up the damn phone and make your own fucking schedule. Don't call me. I don't need to talk to you. We're not friends if you got people calling me. But no, it got resolved. I hate it. I did send a brutal text. Yes, Bruce, thank you. I'm correct in my thank you. I love my dog. Thank you, Bruce. You're the man. Pause to the Bruce. You're the man. And I'll drink to my dog.
That's right.
We got it resolved. We're on track.
We are on track.
And we'll have a discussion come.
And we'll pull up to that Friday meeting on the Harleys.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And because we'll be ready to roll out.
Oh, yeah. So, and no, I'm sorry, podcasters. I'm not telling you who it is because he's got people.
Yeah, we can't divulge that information. It's classified.
Yeah, because he's got people.
Damn near literally. Can I say where I'm going? I can say where I'm going, right?
Yeah, but go ahead.
I'm going to West Point, New York.
Oh, I thought you said you're going to hell. Okay. Oh, yeah, West Point. That's close to hell.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. No, West Point's a cool place, and it's cold up there, so pack your jacket for the time of year you're going, which is like next week. Not as cold as where I'm going, though.
And I didn't think about that. I live in Florida. It's 85 degrees here.
And, you know, West Point's in New York.
What is the weather in New York?
Fucking cold. They call me Alexa or Alex. Fucking cold, dude. But I'm going to Germany next week, so it's even fucking colder.
That's a European cold. That's a different kind of cold. It's right now it's a low of 31, high of 46. I can deal with that. I guess I'll have to put on socks for the first time in 4 months.
Hey, I'm still wearing, I'm in flip-flops still. I mean, it's March. And even yesterday in February, I was wearing flip-flops, which is some good stuff. I do like living in Florida.
I heard it's beautiful at West Point, so I'm excited about going. It'll be a little, a quick job. I'll only be there a day, but I'm still excited about going.
Better come back with a contract.
Well, I'll do my best, sir. Got to make sure we want this contract first. I might get up there and go, we don't want nothing to do with this.
You go up there and you make it work.
We got 5 hoops of fire to jump through. Is 5 okay? What's the limit? 4?
You said on your resume you were athletic,
6.
so jump through them.
Yeah, I think we got a pretty good shot at this. So
You can edit this out. I'm trying to figure out where we're eating tonight. You want to do Shuckers?
no. Oh, Shuckers. Sorry, I was thinking the place we just ate Monday night. Yeah, I actually want to go to Shuckers. Let's go there.
All right. Local seafood it is.
I'm having me some fried shrimp.
Hell yeah. That's the only reason I go.
Shout out to Shuckers. Prepare yourself. I am on the way.
I mean, Salt Lodge's good because you can get your fried shrimp and I can get my sushi. But apparently Laura had sushi for lunch and she doesn't want sushi twice, which I don't get. Sushi twice is good.
Who eats sushi for lunch? We had Arby's.
I know. So, did you see Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago is not going to win a second term?
You're out of here.
You are out of here. I mean, when your city is like number 1 in crime and murder for the past 4 years, why would you think you'd win re-election? I mean, I don't know if it's number 1, but it's in the top 5, I'm sure.
Dude, there's times 27 people get shot in one day.
I mean, it's ludicrous. I mean, she's taking guns away from innocent people who want to defend themselves, and only the criminals have them. So I don't get it.
I'm not going to sit here and try to understand it on this podcast either. It's like, doesn't make sense.
And our listeners, all 4 of them, understand what we're talking about. So we won't get into the nuts and bolts of that. But yeah, only the bad guys shouldn't be the only people with guns. See? Yep. Even the audience loves that idea. Bruce is on board with good guys having guns. Boy, he is just...
He's fired up.
Oh, he is fired up. I mean...
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, he goes, who would want to live in Chicago anyways? I'm like, that's no way to talk, Bruce. I can't control my dog. I'm sorry. He's just lost it. She's out, and it looks like... 2 gentlemen are left for a runoff. So, hey, good luck, Chicago. I hope you get who you want and they can actually make change.
I think anybody they get is going to be better than what they had. She did make the statement that she's leaving the city better than she found it. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, can we get a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, up to about 1 million second opinions? That's bullshit.
It just doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, it's kind of like all the past mayors in New York with everybody leaving, you know. Oh, we made it better. Then why are they leaving?
That place is an absolute war zone.
Gosh, I mean, New York, Chicago, I mean, but let's take a look at, California. I mean, we're talking about Chicago, Illinois. I mean, one really large city in Chicago, one large city in the state of New York that have just tanked. Then you got, you know, San Francisco, Sacramento, LA, San Diego. You got one state with 4 large cities that have just gone to shit, you know, and they couldn't even get rid of that governor. I mean, they just like living in shit. Sorry. I mean, California's gone to hell in a handbasket. But hey, I don't live there, so I really don't give a shit. I just don't want them to California and the rest of the other 49 states out there.
And it seems like wherever you go, the inherent, the core people that you see out in public and that far reaching 1% is really getting shoved in our face through the media. And when you just talk to somebody on the street corner or wherever you're at in a different city, man, they're kind of just, they're just like you. They don't believe in all the crap that's going on. And I think we're being influenced and the minority extreme beliefs are really being pushed up to look like the majority, and I don't think that's really what's
it's
going
not.
on.
I mean, if you look at it, there's more liberal news channels than conservative, and so they've got more platforms to push their agenda on. They're not necessarily the majority, but they do have more platforms to push it on. And the louder you are, the more people start listening. And it's like, well, they can't be all wrong. Well, yeah, they are, but hey, that's just me. I mean, people just make up their own minds. I don't need to be influenced. Just tell me the facts, and I will come to my own decision or conclusion of what should be done. Don't push your agenda on me. Let me make my own decision. But hey, that's too much to ask in this fucking country today.
I just think the role of government it's just
overreaching.
I don't need the government to do anything for me except protect me from being invaded by a foreign country when I'm sleeping in my bed at night. I need a path to prosperity. I need to have a sense of security. But everything else is, a God-given right or something that I earn and build on my own. I don't believe in handouts, and I don't believe in
look, the government's good for some regulations and laws. I mean, and I'm fine with that. I mean, we just can't go out and, just shoot people. I mean, there's got to be a penalty here. And I understand there should be some federal laws for that. I understand there should be some federal means to keep the infrastructure going, especially through multiple states and long distance. I get all of that. Regulations on how to, actually use the stock market, because if you just leave it to capitalism, some will manipulate the stock market for capital gains. I get that. There should be some laws out there, but some of the stuff is just way overreaching by the federal government, such as, we're going to pay off everybody's student loan. Bullshit. I got a loan for my education. I'll pay it off, and I'm not paying. And people who did not get a college degree should not be paying for someone who did. That's bullshit. I don't believe that.
Not to simplify it so much, but a college loan is a contract.
It is
the same as buying a home or buying a car. You are committing to borrowing this money at a specific interest rate.
You borrow it, you sign your name, you own it. So not the federal government or somebody else.
Yeah. So if you're just automatically going to wash away student loan debt, well, what about my college debt from 25 years ago? What about my car payment? What about my home payment? My mortgage? What about?
Look, if they don't want to have, if they do not want to have to go out and have have student loans, then the federal government should go to these institutions of higher education and say, hey, you need to come down on your prices so it's not so much, and these people don't have to get loans or such large loans.
Do not get me started on a college conspiracy.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, if they really want to work on the student debt ratio, then go to the colleges and universities and tell them, hey guys, you're way overcharging on this, because, again, it goes there. It's why should Yale and Harvard be 10 times as much as a state college? Hey, it's private, and again, I get that, but at the end of the day, someone can't go to a state college and get a degree, which I have no problems with. But again, the state colleges are ridiculous as well. I mean, University of Florida, unless you're on an athletic scholarship or get a scholarship, you're not going in as a freshman or a sophomore. You're going to go to a junior college and then come over as a junior or senior.
Sure. Yeah.
It is just as hard to get in some of the state colleges as it is private universities.
Oh, yeah. I have a family member that's going through that right now. But our public school system is probably the first place we should start making some changes. I mean, we have our kids, first off, COVID decimated the school systems, but I mean, just look at, the test scores nationwide. Our kids today are tomorrow's future, not to sound cliche, but that's exactly what it is, man. And our children are the biggest investment we have. And the United States is going to get absolutely crushed in the industrial market. And then,
well, exactly. The trades are being decimated by the baby boomers. They're all retiring out. And today's generation does not want to be a carpenter, a welder, electrician, a farmer, or any of the blue collar trades, which actually make a good living.
Skills.
The skill trades. I mean, so everybody keeps pushing for college, but there's nobody picking up the blue collar jobs now.
And then I don't want to bash on. I'm very envious of talented artistic people, because inside me it's there, but I've been trying to play a guitar since I was 7, and I can't draw a damn stick figure.
Oh, I'm still trying to learn how to play the radio. You want to talk about music? I can't even get the radio to play. I mean, you want to talk about poor talent here? Oh my God.
But if you spend $80,000 on an art degree, either you're artistically talented or you're not.
Or you took the easy path to get through college.
I mean, basket weaving and college should be.
Okay. Yeah, let's.
You should have real world skills that you put. Like being a pharmacist or a neurosurgeon, or, that's something you have to go to school for to learn how to do. But if you're going to spend tons of money on a philosophy degree or something like that, and then you decide you don't want to pay that back and you want look, that's the boat you hopped in. You better get to rowing.
Hey, look, man, at the end of the day, you sign your name on it, you own it.
It's a contract.
You own it. So person up. I think that's the right word. Person up.
Person up.
And own it.